Fucking weird. This used to be Anderson Lumber back in the day, and then it became Gold's Gym. On the side there, that used to be Lynn's Dry Cleaning, and then Kevin's Beauty Supply was there too. Do you remember that? Those places?
Yes, I believe I do.
They were at the end of it though. It was Anderson Lumber, then it became Stock Lumber Supply, and then a few years after that it became Gold's Gym. I'm surprised on Google Street View I was able to find a picture of it when it was Anderson. I thought that was way too long ago. I'm wondering if before it became Gold's Gym, it became Anderson again, and then it went defunct or something. This used to be the Sinclair gas station, and you can see the remnants of it there. The hydrant's new. That little whatever that is new. This is like the staging area for UDOT, basically, for one of their projects. But before, it was a Sinclair gas station. And back over there, I'm not including it in its own thing, back over there was Denny's. Over there was Village Inn. Rest in peace. So, this building here, Burger King, used to be Hardee's some 30 odd years ago. And then sometime in the late 90s, it became Jake's Over the Top, and then it became Taco Maker, Jake's Over the Top, and some other place. So now it's Burger King. So this place here, Deal Depot, a long time ago used to be Ben Franklin Crafts, and you could go there and buy all sorts of crafting stuff for really good bargains, kind of like Michael's and Joann's and all those places. The other shops around here were all pretty much the same. That a long time ago, though, this whole area was one building next to Ben Franklin. It was at one point it was Gart Sports. Do you remember that? Gart Sports. And then then it became like some indoor, like kind of, you know, like a bounce house type of arcade type party event, and then they got sectioned out into different suites. So this mess of a staging area lot used to be 7-Eleven on 5600. I think now it's going to become an expansion on America First parking, maybe. Kind of like how that house was destroyed to become Golden West's expanded parking. I thought it was going to be gone just for part of the 5600. I guess the 5600 project really is just destroy homes. I thought it was just to make the road wider so the people coming from West Haven and Hooper would stop bitching about it, but I guess not. This corner here, just a few years ago, this was a Wells Fargo. You know, that infamous bank that was always getting into lawsuits and being like forced out of business? That Wells Fargo. And they had a statue there and everything. I filmed it shortly after they went defunct in this location. It was before they started destruction, tearing everything down. And I got pictures of the statue and all that. So I'm glad that I did that before they crushed all of it. Okay, this area here used to be Wendy's. For over 30 years or more was our one and only Wendy's location here in Roy. And now you see that in the distance that Dr. John's, former Dr. John's, is supposedly, in theory, going to become the new Wendy's. But that remains to be seen. Okay, this business here, I don't think it's as above, so below anymore. It is. It is still as above, so below. But the thing is, right here has been filled in the last few years. It used to be, and you can see on the picture on the screen, you used to be able to go downstairs. And now it's like, I think, all on the same level. It might not be on the same level, but definitely it looks different from how it used to be some over a decade ago. Okay, this place here, IHC, used to be located closer to this little, there was like a wall there blocking it off from O-Town laundry. It wasn't that at the time though. And I'm talking about more than 20 years ago. It was like all the way along here. Then sometime around 2002, 2003, they rebuilt it, and for the longest time it was over here in this corner. It was right there up built into that corner. And then most recently, this is the most recent design for IHC, Intermountain Healthcare. Okay, this building here, Journeys, used to be a Now Care. It was a little walk-in clinic. You know, you could get like see a doctor and get your prescription and all that. And that's been gone. I can't remember how long now. It was here the last time I lived here in 2011, but it's been gone for a few good years. This guy just called me Marky Mark. He's like, oh, it's Marky Mark. That's a random and wild reference to get in 2024. I want to do a series where I film these buildings, how they are today, and show you what it looked like years ago. At least as far back as when I was living here in the 80s and 90s. Of course, we all know that was Hollywood Video. This is very interesting. I'll wait till I come up here. That Bank of Utah. I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. Get a better shot of this. This is a Mexican church right now, or I guess maybe just a Spanish church. The last place it used to be was a boxing gym. Literally, some dude crashed his truck, right into the wall. And I'll try to put up a news article if I can find it. Before that was Midori Sushi. They were open from 2010 until maybe 2008 until 2018. And that was it. They were gone. And before that it was abandoned for a long time because it used to be BC Chicken. And they closed. I never had BC, but Midori was fucking awesome. It was the only place to get local Japanese cuisine. Okay, this vacant lot here next to what used to be BC Chicken. This used to be Firestone Tires or a garage or whatever. I thought it was Big O. I think it's wasn't David Early Big O. That was further down in Roy. This was Firestone, and I know that because I looked on a Street View on Google Earth, and I went all the way back to like 2007. This place here, Bank of Utah, this whole lot here was a Sonic. Back in the day, Sonic Burgers. And that opened up in, I want to say 2000, sometime in the early 2000s, because it was there when I was in high school. Because I would, Fridays would be guy days, and I would rent movies and games, and I would pop into there to get a cheap burger and some tater tots. That's how cheap everything was back then. A teenager could afford a burger, tots, a drink, 2 games and a movie. Or 2 movies and a game from Hollywood Video. This place, Advance Auto Parts. I always forget the name of this company. Advance Auto Parts. This used to be a Family Dollar back in the day. I have no idea whose car is parked there. This was a Family Dollar, and I think it was built in 2004. I think. This place, Cash Loan, is so trashy. This old vintage building. It's obviously made for a drive-through to get shakes, burgers, because this was an Arctic Circle back in the day. And I already filmed through here. They're not open, even though the sign says that they're open. They're not. They're not even open on the weekend. Yeah, Les Schwab is where that one business used to be. I think it was a glass cutting or glass manufacturing place. I'll talk about that again in a minute. We're going to check their dumpster real quick. Oh, they have 2 dumpsters. And of course, I stepped on a... My shoes are doing pretty good. You could hide a body in there. I'm sure people are like, who the fuck is this guy walking around? See, I don't know why. This is where you're supposed to put the dumpsters at. Looks like people have been coming in here hanging out and drinking and smoking. I mean, it's a veritable little, like, forest playground back here. And I said in my one video where I filmed out here, you could park your car out here and then come out, and there was like gazebos and benches you could sit at and eat. And of course, these used to have grass. You can see here where you could walk. Oh, is that a little tree? Oh my god! It is! It's like a little pine tree. I'm gonna get a picture of that. I'll come back through. These are like some of these socks. Yeah, and you can see the little parking barricades where people would park and sit and eat. And actually, you'd park there, and people, actually what it was, people would come out and bring you your food. And they did have benches in like a gazebo pergola area. It was in the middle. And it was like nice white wood lattice fencing, or whatever you call that. And just, you know, it was like this nice old school 70s looking kind of thing. I'm more of like an 80s, 90s type of guy. That's because I was born in the early 80s. So I saw the tail end of it, and also I saw all the 90s, so I'm more into that. I really like Art Deco stuff, though, if we really want to get specific about eras. But this was Arctic Circle. Mom and I would come out here many a night in the summer. You want a shake? Sure, because they were, I think they're open until midnight. We'd come out here like 9, 10 at night. I get a large strawberry shake. She'd get like a chocolate shake. I think it was still just like frozen ice cream in a cup. But Mom liked them. She seemed to like them all the same. If I had to like compare it to anything that... Because Arctic Circle still exists. I think they're like down in like West Point, or like way out there in the far other end of Roy. They still exist, so you can still go there and get their they're not called blizzards, but they have like a shake, kind of like Blizzard from Dairy Queen. Yeah, you can still go and get those, but if I had to compare it to anything that's like in the area, well, Wendy's isn't here anymore, but they were kind of like Frosties, like Wendy's Frosties, if I had to compare it. There's some like weird rambling noises that I'm hearing, like rattling noises. What is that? Oh, that's the piping for the sprinkler system. So weird, like I find random discarded socks, shoes. I wonder if it's these like AC units. These are these stores that are like no longer, they're like defunct. It is. They're still going. Oh, maybe it's from Grease Monkey. I think someone's working on someone's car. Oh no, it's... Well, it's coming from over here. I don't see any of those moving. It has to be coming from here, these buildings here. Oh, it's coming from the power lines. It's coming from the fucking power lines, dude. Is that wild? It's insane. So, yeah, that used to be Arctic Circle back in the day. While I'm here, I can't remember all the businesses, but I just want to get a long, like a standing panoramic shot of at least these businesses here. I never visited any of the ones in the back because that's, before that shut down, that was all one big church, like mega church building. They all used to be different businesses. There at least used to be like a TV repair place that was here. And they had a sign, I think was right here. Or actually, it might have been this sign right here. Yeah, that's an old sign. Obviously the AutoZone, that was added later on top of it. Oh, we make more money. We're the standout business that's here. They came way after all this stuff. But there was a TV and electronics repair place that was here. My other mom, Marva, had gone there many times. At least twice that I know of. Once, I think it was to pick up a TV, and once was to drop off a VCR. And this was back in the late 90s, early 2000s. It's like at least between 98 and like 2001, 2002. So, you know, it was quite a while ago. Quite a while ago. I looked, and this Grease Monkey place was Master Motor. I don't think it was Master Muffler. It was like Master Motor or something. Or Master Lube. And the building was kind of the same but different. All the signage was different. Of course, it was a different... This, I looked this up because I couldn't remember. But 2007, I think that was the latest. This wasn't here, it was actually another house next to the house that's still there. So I imagine at one point a lot of this actually was zoned for residential before these places started coming in. Which would, it would align with what my older cousins and uncles have said that lived out here back in the day. That's so weird, that room that has curtains. This house here, I just wanted to spotlight on how sad it is and defunct. And I know that the city or whoever owns it, they want to turn it in, both these lots. The people next door haven't sold, so they're still living there. But they want to turn it into condos. But it was back in the day, just as recent as like 2015, it was a decent looking house, and then it was falling into disrepair. The roof, just as recently as like 20 whenever, looks like it's gonna collapse any minute. This place is interesting. I can't remember what they were called, but this place would do watch repair and clock repair, just stuff like that. And the family still owns it. In fact, they use the back area here for storage. And I've seen them out here a few times. Like just parking something or hitching something or whatever. Okay, so this whole building here at one point was one restaurant chain called 5 Star. I think the main restaurant was either there in the back or here. When the first and last time I ever went here to eat here, which was 2006 or 2007, was with my cousin and his then girlfriend. This was the restaurant portion. It was the whole area at that time was 5 Star, plus there was a lounge. which I don't know if they had karaoke and smoking and whatever. At some point, it just became, this part was just 5-star, and then the rest of this was just different businesses. Like, what do we got here? That's another fly-by-night fucking church. I know I filmed here before. I mean, a vape place, a tattoo place, I mean, this place is pretty much, it's already... I'm surprised there's no talks for this area to be bulldozed. I'm sure there's developers are like, ooh, dollar signs, we can put apartments there. I haven't heard anything, though. All I know is in the rumor mill and the grapevine is all of these, they want apartments, except that's going to be a Chick-fil-A, or not a Chick-fil-A, a Wendy's. The building behind it, Papa Murphy's, Dollar Cuts, Liberty Tax, whatever. Dollar Cuts is no longer in business there anymore, so I don't even know why their sign is illuminated. All of that used to be Pizza Hut. I think I might have done a video like this. I'm just putting it out there. I'm pretty sure I've done a walkthrough video like this of the old days. And it was probably just on Instagram, but this is going to have more. It's going to have music, it's going to have effects and things like that. If I can find clips and things from back in the day, I will include them. That building there, the T-Mobile and Dollar Loan Center. Hi, can I have just $1? That used to be, all of that used to be Blockbuster back in the day. So I'm over here by the old Dr. John's, and I filmed here many times before because I love the building, how iconic it is. It used to be a porn shop. And I guess the power was officially cut off of this building because they have some demolition things here. I don't know if that's actually going to be used here. I noticed that the for sale sign is gone. So these could actually just be for like the sidewalk and not actually to tear down the building. But if you notice, the last few times I've been here, these windows have neon lighting on the inside. And the power's been shut off officially. This used to be a Dr. John's. I think there used to be a business here before that. I cannot tell you what that business was. That was way too far back. I can't remember. This Dr. John's has been a Dr. John's since at least I was in high school. And people, of course, here, the Mormons were all in uproar. There's an adult toy store opening up. This is supposed to become a Wendy's, supposedly. We'll see if that holds true. This area here, Rancheritos, Mexican food. That, almost 30 years ago, was a Burger King. And then after that was Atlantis Burger. Then I think it became Beto's, but then Beto's and Rancheritos are owned by the same corporation or the same people. Now, Quick Quack, it's a cute little business. Don't have anything against their business. But I'm not happy because what used to be here was the Warrens. My favorite restaurant that was here. This was Warren's hamburgers with fried mushrooms and all that. This whole area was Warren's, the drive-through and everything was Warren's. Now it's a car wash. And it was Warren's up until like what, 2018, 2019. Because the last time I remember mentioning it was going out of business because my creative writing teacher was still alive. But she had, sadly, she's no longer with us. But yeah, this was Warren's. That was Video Express / Cyber Exchange and Smokies and Burrito Grande. Very interesting history on this strip that used to be there. And then Chinese Buffet was across the street. Okay, apparently I wasn't finished with this, apparently. So also the CVS, at the end there was Burrito Grande. Smokies was like right in the middle, and then here was Video Express, which became Cyber Exchange, which was a PC software store. I don't have a picture of when it was Video Express, but my friends at the time tell me that it was a Video Express, because in my mind I always thought it was called Video Fresh or Fresh Video, but yeah, people have confirmed, yeah, it was called Video Express. But I got pictures of that video you can see here. Well, not video, of the business that was Video Express and Cyber Exchange right here. At the end here was a little business, was a little drive-through business. But you couldn't go in, but you could drive through and get cigarettes and drinks and whatever, or magazines. It was called Smokies. And it's just a little know-nothing business. And when they shut down, they relocated down there next to 7-Eleven, which is now a coin-op dry cleaner. So this building here, the CVS, this is an interesting story. This CVS plus parts of where Quick Quack is were two businesses. This main part here, which extended from there to like near the sidewalk, was called Burrito Grande. And as you could tell by the name, it was a Mexican restaurant and sports bar. You could go and watch the game. And at the end there was a business, just a little shack. So this space here, kind of near Scooters. In fact, I'll try to get closer. Between this Harmon's gas stop and Scooters, in fact, I'll show you the pit. The outline, all that remains of the wonderful Chinese gourmet buffet restaurant that used to be here from the 90s until, when did they shut their doors? 2018? And another interesting fact, back in the day, this whole area was lined with trees all the way down and had grass. And now it's just rocks. It's rocks, xeriscape, garbage. It's ugly. You know, seeing this little water feature here with the Welcome to Roy, I was like, oh, that's kind of nice, because I forgot how beautiful and green this part of town was. And it's like Clearfield is doing the same thing, getting rid of all their trees. I don't know if they're putting rocks in, xeriscaping or whatever the hell you call it, that bullshit, but these trees are so fucking ugly. They were nice little maple trees, and they were all down the sidewalk, all the way down 1900 with grass. It was beautiful. And it's so sad seeing how soulful it looked, and now it just looks, ugh, it looks hideous. Okay, this area here, now I'm trying to remember exactly, but I think it's this pit area here. I don't think it's part of this. I think that was always Hi-Fi Shop. But it makes sense, this pit area here, there, into here, because it was built on a slope, was this Asian-owned business. It's called Oriental Goods. And then at the end was a hair beauty place, salon called Frederick's. And I think it's just about over a decade ago, I think 2015, 2014, it caught fire. Maybe it was 2016, and burnt down. The whole thing burnt. That area there. I don't know what's going on with the lighting. It's like blurring the camera for some reason. I don't know why it's doing that. But yeah, this area used to be that Oriental, and that's what it was called. I know that's an outdated term, but that's literally what the business was called. It's called Oriental Goods. And then Frederick's was at the end there. So what do you think about Wendy's possibly moving in where Dr. John's is?
I approve that wholeheartedly. I think that street is a good side.
Because you don't like porn, because you're very, like, fundamentalist, very puritanical.
No, it's not that. It's that building is currently vacant. Finding a use for it.
I mean, they won't be using the building. I imagine that whole thing's going to get demolished. Because even though I think it would be hilarious and awesome if they actually just use the existing building, so it would have character, and then people could comment like, oh yeah, I used to buy my porn mags from here. They want all the Wendy's to look like that bland corporate style that I fucking hate. Hell, even that could be the Wendy's. It's got a kitchen and everything. I mean, how many people do you ever see inside of a Wendy's at one time? Well, because they go through the drive-thru. I've seen people in the drive-thru a lot, but not that many people in the lobby. And that, I don't know if you remember, this used to be Domino's. I know it says it right there, but I remember this was a Domino's. Even without looking at that sign, I remember once or twice going in here with my parents to pick up a pizza, because I guess it was cheaper to pick up the pizza. I don't know by how much, or because they're like, oh, we're in the area, let's just pick it up. So, this is something I've talked about before, but the side of the building there, where, I don't know what that shop is called, the sports bike or something, was connected to a building that spanned all the way to, I think it spanned all the way to Common Sense. It was the old location of the Rainbow Saloon bar, which is not a gay bar, by the way, and also had Subway, or not Subway, Blimpie. It had Blimpie in it. So, taking account how far it spanned, at least I think it spanned to Common Sense. If not, it was definitely Walgreens that it spanned to. And it was a fairly good-sized building, and this is almost 30 years ago, maybe at least, I think more than 30 years ago, possibly, because I'm trying to remember what used to be here in the 90s, or in stuff in the 2000s and 90s, before Walgreens and Common Sense got put in. And I'm drawing a blank, and there's also Google Street View wasn't a thing until like 2006, the earliest, I think. So there might have been some other type of business that was there that wasn't connected to the Rainbow Saloon and the Blimpie.